everyone! My name is Jenna, but you guys can call me Jen. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. That is backwards. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new. Hi. Welcome to the start of another weekend vlog. I feel terrible. I was up till 5:30 this morning. I'm running on 4 hours of sleep because insomnia hit me in the face. We're here and we're drinking coffee. So like, what's better? Anyways, hello, welcome to another weekend vlog. What's up this weekend? Not a lot. Let me get up from my couch. And by not a lot, I mean literally nothing. I got nothing going on. I have very little to-dos in my brain noggin for this weekend. I think the main one, is work on my book 3. Oh no, I have a couple little things that I need to do. I do have like, oh yeah, I gotta do my thumbnail for my latest Stardew stream, which was Wednesday. I actually have to put that up. I haven't put that up yet. I need to plan out some sort of schedule for like when I'm gonna do my title reveal for book 3. It's gonna be soon. I don't know if you guys remember when I talked about how I was gonna do like a word search type of thing for that. So that is still in the works, but I don't know when that's gonna happen. That didn't really help my hair at all, but then this is just how we function today. And I also need to do something else that I can't remember. I need to do an ARC reader forum for Merry and Bright because it's a thing. I've officially submitted it into all of the avenues. Haven't yet like done a paperback pre-order setup. It's like almost ready because I need to get my proofs from Amazon with the new layout on the inside because I did a couple of different things. I needed to change a few things. And I also wanted to try and see what a glossy versus matte cover would look like for this book. So that's what I did. I also just officially released the new cover. It's basically the old one, just revamped. That is what it looks like for Merry and Bright, which is very exciting. This is the other one that I had originally, like this. And my friends were like, it looks like something's missing on this side. Like you should center the, I think Melanie said you should center the window. So I did. I blew it up, centered it, and I like it. So yay. So that's the new cover. It's coming out November 7th. Very exciting. Love that for me. Anyways. Okay, so those are the 3 things. Number 1, thumbnail. Number 2, title reveal schedule for Airman Book 3. And number 4, ARC reader form for Merry and Bright to get that going because it's coming out in November and it's already September. Like it's halfway through September. So I need to get that out so that people have a chance to read it before it comes out and like start reviewing it and stuff for me. So I'll let you know how that goes. And if it's up, the link is in the description. If it's not, I'll let you know when it goes up. But so that's, that's the main to do, those 3 things. And then I also want to work on Airman Book 3 for fucking sure this weekend. I need to. I have to. I'm literally not putting any goals on myself. I'm just saying work on it. So we'll see when that happens. As for reading plans, I have so many things that I want to read. I got that haul yesterday with 3 more books that I really want to read. But I need to finish The Stardust Grail because I'm still about 40% of the way through. I started it on Monday and just didn't finish it at all this week because this week was a lot. I would also like to read Lady Eve's Last Con. This is a maybe. And then I need to fucking, guess what? I need to read Black Tide Sun because I didn't fucking do that last week like I said I was going to. So this is a for sure. These 2 are maybes depending on productivity levels and brain levels because your girl's going through it at the moment. I also have this novella from the library that I could read, which I just got in. It's In the Shadow of the Fall by Toby Ogundiran. I didn't want to make it very English sounding, but this one, which we love novellas. Probably gonna do some coloring, probably gonna see, I don't know what other things I could do, but got these 3 books in the mail yesterday, and then 2 other books the day before. I got 2 different indie books. I got Love at First Glance by Griffin Murphy, which is a cozy fantasy, supposedly funny, goofy time, and then I got Hannah Bonham Young's Christmas novella, which is sapphic. Anyways, so I got these as well. Lots of things, my friends. Lots of things. But yeah, that's kind of what it is. It's a very chill weekend. I'm not going to put a lot of to-dos on myself this weekend, I don't think. I'm just feeling weird. I feel stuck, stagnant, Doesn't help that my freaking insomnia kicked in so hard last night and decided to keep me up till fucking 5:30 in the morning. Like, literally, I was crawling up my walls at 5:30 in the morning, and I looked outside and like the sky was getting lighter out, and I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm wide awake. I was more awake last night at 5:30 in the morning than I was at 2 p.m. yesterday. I don't know what's going on. So this morning I like made myself wake up. I tried to make myself wake up at 9:30, but because I was up till 5, that just wasn't gonna happen. I kind of like was aware and awake from the hours of like 10 to 11, and then I was like up laying in bed until like 12:30 scrolling on my phone, but I was awake. So I'm running on very little sleep, but I feel awake. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. Ooh, at some point I also need to ship this because my friend Melanie, who's currently doing her master's in BC, was looking for this book specifically because she can't find it anywhere, and she knew that we had it from a previous course when we did it at the U of M together. She didn't ever buy physical books when we were in university, so she was hoping that one of us would have it. I had it at Mom and Dad's, thank fuck. So I'm gonna ship it off to her. I should just package it and go to the rec stall at some point today, but that's another to do. Ship, package. So it's just a weekend. I don't know. I feel very out of it. Maybe I need to start working out again to like give myself some regulation. I don't know. Things are weird, but we're just gonna have a good cozy weekend because that's all I want to do right now. So, and also yesterday I finished crocheting myself one of these cute little bandanas. Why? Because I needed something to do with my hands, and I thought it was very cute. So I need to block it at some point to like make sure it has the right shape, but I think it's very cute. And hopefully I can wear it with some things. I'm not used to wearing anything on my head, ever. Like, I don't wear hats, ever. Even in the winter, even when it's like -40, I just refuse. Because I don't like things on my head. I get headaches very easy when there's like hats on my head and stuff like that. So, and I can't really wear headbands either because of that. So this is going to be an interesting test to see if I get a headache or anything when this is actually secured on my head. We shall see. Fun lore about me. I get headaches very easy. Anyways, that's what's up. That's what's happening. Welcome to the vlog. We're going to do some coloring as well. It's just going to be cozy. It's going to be a cozy one.
You are in great danger of making him as much in love with you as ever.
I have to. Hey friends, it's now a little later. I'm about to call it and try and go to bed. Hopefully my insomnia doesn't kick me in the ass again tonight. That would be great. So I don't need that. I don't need that 2 nights in a row. I also would like you guys to see this insane stack that is just becoming my TBR stack. That's part of my TBR, like my immediate TBR, because obviously I have over 140 books in my TBR. And then that's the fall TBR still hanging there. And then that is my library stack, plus those. I'm not overwhelmed at all by the amount of choices I have to read. But I will say what I will be reading tomorrow is this bad boy, Lady Eve's Last Con, because I read the back. It's sapphic. I'm reading it. So, anyways, friends, I finished the Stardust Grail today, which was really, really good. I have mixed feelings about the last half, but like overall loved this book. I don't even know how to describe it, explain it, any of that, because it's just one of those books that hits. And I think what's bothering me about the second half is I was a little bamboozled by the midpoint of the book, mainly because the whole goal of the book up until that point was hit at the midpoint, or so I thought. And I was like, oh, okay, now what? Like, it was one of those situations. So, but alas, the rest of the book was good. It definitely had, as I explained in my last vlog a little bit at the end there, it had fantastic Becky Chambers vibes. So if you're a fan of Becky Chambers, give it a try. It's more action-packed than Becky Chambers, I would say, but I give it the Becky Chambers stamp of approval because it felt like the universe of Becky Chambers, and it didn't feel as like space operatic action-packed as some other space operas that I've come across. This is definitely a more laid-back one, even though we are still very stressed most of the time. It's a weird little combination, and I don't really know how to explain it, to be entirely honest with you. It's... the only way I can explain it is if you took all of the like super action-packed parts of a Becky Chambers book and you kind of knit them all together into this one. So this is definitely a heisty Indiana Jonesy type of read, and it has such an interesting cast of characters that I almost wish we got more of. Maybe that's also a little bit of my hesitation at the end of the book. Like, I really enjoyed our main character. I loved her journey that she went on. I loved how deeply she cared about her best friend, uncle, and Zir's whole species. We also love the use of neo-pronouns, 10 out of 10. And I don't know, it just... The alien life in this book was so cool, and the galaxies were really interesting, and like the whole situation, it was just really interesting. So... I don't know if I've explained what it's about, but it's about our main character, Maya, who at the beginning of this book has kind of given up her life as a thief, as a glorified like treasure freer. There's a line near the end where she's like, I've never considered myself a thief until this moment. And it's because she's going after things that other people shouldn't have. So like Robin Hood type of figure. She's going after things that other people have stolen or whatever to give them back to the right people or whatever, right? So she is in this situation where she has been looking for what she calls the Stardust Grail for a really long time, and her friend Uncle is looking for that as well, because the Frenro is the kind of alien that Uncle is, and Frenro are brainless. Like, they don't have any brains, but they store all their thoughts and feelings all over their body, and they're part of a sort of hive mind type situation. They're described in the back of the book as primarily aquatic and invertebrate with an ability to glimpse both past and future. They are vaguely potato-shaped with 10 thick arms at their base, which they use for propelling through water or perambulating over ground, and hundreds of finer filaments and tentacles on top, which they use for like sensory perception. They lack a central brain, instead storing their memories and knowledge throughout their bodies. A Frenro can live for hundreds if not thousands of years, and they continue to grow throughout their life. These people are nearly extinct because of this event that happened a long time ago, and Frenro tech is often considered ancient and highly prized. And because the Frenro are almost extinct, they have lost the ability to procreate and have babies. They don't know how to continue and expand their species anymore. They've lost this ability because they've lost this grail or whatever is like that. Hundreds and hundreds of years ago it was taken from them. Uncle has been looking for this, and Maya joins this, and they're, you know, thieves type of like, you know, space thieves. Indiana Jones-esque space thieves. But at the beginning of this, Maya has given up that life, and she decides that she's going to go back to become a student. So she's a post-grad student, and she's studying some things specifically with a focus on, she mentions it a couple times right at the beginning, but it's not really that important. She goes back and she's studying with a link to this research trip that happened 100 years ago with this specific scholar, wherein these volumes of their travel, of her specific like travel research, have been lost. A number of them have been found and resurfaced and like studied, but a number of them have been lost. At the beginning of this book, Maya is like, I'm done with that life. I'm not going back there. This is my life now. But volume number 5 of these travel journals pop up, and she is immediately like, oh shit. am I gonna have to steal this book? And she ends up getting the chance to read a little bit of it because her friend is the one who's like processing the book. And so she gets the chance to like read it over her friend's shoulder. And immediately she's like, this has the answers as to where this grail is. And she realizes, she puts 2 and 2 together, that this Stardust machine, as part of this search trip type of thing, research trip that these scholars were going on 100 years ago, is the same thing that Maya and Ioncle have been searching for now. Like, it's like concrete proof that her grail is real and not just this fairy tale thing that most people believe it to be. So it's like this linking together, and she ends up, you know, stealing the book and then leaving and leaving with Uncle, like, go find the grail. And that's the whole thing. They just want to find the grail. And she gets approached right before she leaves by this guy who's with the CNE, who's like this big corporation or whatever, like the military essentially. And he's like, listen, we know your past. We know you're complete bullshit. You're not just a grad student out here doing grad student things. We know you're a thief, and we know you caused this shit on this place. And I want to hire you to find me the grail. Because if you don't, you are going to doom our entire world. Because there's something happening where like the individual nodes that people are living on and different species are living on out in the universe are vanishing, are being destroyed. And so it's this like, okay, but she wants to get the grail to give it to her friend who is going to be able to have babies again and be able to expand their race, and has like been searching for this for hundreds of years, versus giving it to the humans to save their world. And like the whole tagline of it is save one world, doom her own. And she's like, no, I'm giving it to my friend. But yeah, it's this whole different situation. It's wrapped up with the situation. But that is the main premise. She is on the hunt for what she calls the Stardust Grail, which the previous scholars have called the Stardust Machine. It's fascinating. And when she gets on the ship, there's 2 more people on the ship that used to not be there that Uncle hired. We have Will, who is an extremely damaged physically person. Like, she has been through so much shit that she basically depends on her suit, her mech suit, to keep her alive and to be able to do anything. Like, there's moments where she has her suits off in some instances and she can't even lift a tea packet. Wherein, like, when she's in her armor, she is their barbarian build battle gun, right? And then there's also a mech robot named Medix. And he's so sweet, and all he wants to do, he reminds me so much of Fresh Cut Grass from Campaign 3. All he wants to do is know what it feels like to feel human emotions. So he keeps like, he's on the hunt for like finding these different kind of programs that he can put in himself to program himself to feel emotions. It's so sweet. It's so unreal. I wish we got more of Will and Medix like in a Becky Chambers way, because I feel like when I was reading A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, which this kind of gave a little bit, like with the hunt to find something, is that what I would say? Like, I would pin this almost in the Close and Common Orbit, Long Way to a Small Angry Planet vein of Becky Chambers' books, with a dash of Indiana Jones, because heist and like treasure hunter and that kind of thing. Reading A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, I'm just going to keep comparing it to Becky Chambers. I think that Becky Chambers did the humanity thing. Humanity is the only word I can think of. The personal, the interpersonal, the connection level of finding heart in the characters. She did that so much better and so much more perfectly and well-roundedly with her Long Way to a Small Angry Planet book and A Close and Common Orbit, with the 2 characters that we meet in there. So Becky Chambers has like the whole picture. We get everything because it's slower. We spend so much time with these characters on the ship, etc., etc. In this one, we get so much of Maya and Uncle, and we don't really get a lot of Will and Medix, but we get enough that we know there's trauma there. We don't know what happened to Will. We never really find out. And we don't know why they are so loyal. She is so loyal to the CNE because she's an ex-CNE person, like a soldier. But like, she's no longer working for the CNE anymore. She's like a free agent, and she has a stolen robot with her. Like, we kind of get like what happened to that in that instance. Like, there's little things in this book that I wish we got more of. I wish we sat with the characters more. I wish we got to know them a little bit more and had more time interpersonally to really get attuned to them. And I do wish we had a little bit more time to understand the Grail and the Friend Row and what is happening in here, because I feel like it did kind of get a little muddy in the second half, and I think that's why I'm a little bit wishy-washy on the second half more than the first. The first half was perfect, 5 stars. It was so good. Second half, a little bit muddier. And again, I think because I was thrown off with the midpoint being what it was, and then being like, okay, well now what? After that, I don't know if I missed something or I just didn't read it correctly or something. And then like the reveal of like the midpoint being not really what it was, and they have to keep looking for it, was a little bit muddy in the situation. Like it wasn't very like clear, and it didn't hit like I feel like it was supposed to. But overall, this book was phenomenal and so much better than The Deep Sky. Like, The Deep Sky was good. It's a literary thriller. It's marketed as a thriller. It's really not. Like, it's just some people are dying and they don't really know why. Like, they know someone's killing people on the ship, but like, it's not thrilling in any way. It's literary fiction with a bunch of people who originally were women. There's a couple trans men on there now, but sent up to space to like live and repopulate the world for like 80 years. They're an experiment kind of thing. This one I really enjoyed, and I think Yume Kitase shone so brightly with this one, with including the alien races and that kind of stuff. And it wasn't even like a huge amount of alien races, actually. If you look at the back of the book, there's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then humans. So it gives you an interesting look at the amount of universe that humans have discovered and found at this point in this world. I don't know. It was great. I really enjoyed that. Anyways, so I finished that today. Did some coloring and ended up watching some TV. I watched how many movies today? Like 2 movies, and then 4 out of 6 episodes of the 1995 BBC miniseries for Pride and Prejudice, because I ended up coming out of the Stardust Grail and being like, okay, like I just want to throw something on the TV. So I went into Disney Plus because I wasn't feeling anything on YouTube, and I ended up putting up that, is it Drew Barrymore? The Ever After, the Cinderella story with like Leonardo da Vinci, the really funny one. That movie does not stick in my head no matter what I do. It is so beautiful and it's such a good movie. It does not stick. The plot does not stay in my head. And I think because the first time I watched that movie, I had just gone on a trip to Florida with my friend. My parents had gone out, like we literally arrived at our little Airbnb that we were staying at. She ended up finding it on the TV. I had such a migraine that I watched the first 20 minutes of it and then succumbed to a terrible migraine because traveling all day. And like the majority of that movie watching experience was like hallucinogenic almost. And I didn't watch it all, and I watched it in pieces. I didn't get a lot of it because migraine, and then I missed the ending. So having that be the first experience of the movie and then coming back to it many, many, many years later and watching it, like it doesn't stick in my head. I've seen it twice now in my place. It just does not stick in my head, but it's a beautiful movie to watch. And I really love the visuals of the movie, and the prince is fucking gorgeous. His hair. And then I checked on Pride and Prejudice 2005 because of course I did, and I colored with that. And then I was like, because I'm watching Pride and Prejudice 2005, I have to balance it by watching 1995 because that is arguably, not even arguably, that just is the better adaptation. I love the 2005 movie for what it is, but as an actual like proper adaptation of Pride and Prejudice, the 1995 takes it because that one is like almost word for word. It's a fantastic adaptation. The 2005 movie is completely different. It's like, it's telling its own little thing. It's doing its own thing. I know people are so in love with that. I love the movie. It's so visually stunning, and I will never get over Charlotte in that movie and excellent boiled potatoes. It makes me so happy. Mr. Collins is a fucking idiot. But the Lizzie in 1995 is the Lizzie from the books, and I just needed to continue living my Pride and Prejudice life. So I'm 4 episodes into that. Rewatch, because I've seen it many, many, many times. And that's all I've done today. Today vanished. I'm gonna set my alarm once again for like 9:30, and I'm gonna make myself get up because I need to somehow wrench my sleeping schedule back into place. I don't know how I'm still so awake, only running on 4 hours of sleep. I do not understand. Anyways, tomorrow we're gonna do some work on Airmap Book 3. We are also going to do the scheduling thing for like the timeline for title reveal for Airmap Book 3, and then we're also gonna do the ARC forms. I did do the thumbnail for my video, so check on that. I definitely recommend this if you're looking at some sci-fi. And I think this is an incredibly good sci-fi for someone who is not like super versed in sci-fi, just like I think Becky Chambers is really great for someone who's trying to get into sci-fi, because it keeps you so connected to the characters. Even if some of the sciencey weird alien shit kind of goes over your head, it's fine, because you're connected to the characters and you're like, man, I really want Maya to succeed. And I really want Uncle to get this fucking grail, because Uncle seems so cool. Highly recommend. And it's little. Like, it didn't take me long to read it all. I'll catch up with you tomorrow for Sunday, but it's been a good day. We're seeing a bag.
Where are you going? Where are you going? Come here. That was a big sigh. Come here. Are you looking at the toys? Come here. Let me boop your nose. You're so cute.
Done, but at what cost? Hello friends, happy Sunday. I apologize for the loud air conditioner. I wanted to pop in as I'm going to bed, give y'all some reading updates, just mosey into the other room. So bear with me at this terrible angle and the sound of my air conditioner. I do apologize, but this is how loud it is usually in my place. Isn't that nice? It's not overstimulating at all. Oh, friends. It has been an interesting day. It has been productive. I think I crossed everything off my to-do list, guys, which is crazy. Do I remember the entire to-do list? No, but I think I got it. But let me just organize. My sheets are all akimbo in my bed. So Sunday. What a day. What did I get done today? So many different little things. So first and foremost, the ARC Reader sign up is up. So if you want to go sign up to be an ARC Reader of Marian Bright, the link is in my link tree. It's the fourth one down after all the supporting Gaza ones. So go sign up. And while you're at it, go give $5 to the people in Gaza because they need it desperately. So that's done and dusted. I've already got like 8 or more submissions, which is crazy. Because if I remember correctly, I had like maybe 16 for A Little Luck, not even. Hopefully Marian Bright kind of kicks off a little bit, being a romance book and all that. So the ARC Reader thing is done. Oh, I didn't schedule out when I'm gonna do the title reveal for stuff for Aramount Book 3. Oh, and I also didn't ship my friend's package because I tried to today. I was gonna go after Mom and Dad's, after going to dinner at Mom and Dad's, and when I walked in, I literally walked into the Sobeys with the package, did a loop, Canada Post was closed. I was so irritated. I've literally never seen them close before the store closes, so I was a little befuddled, walked right back out. So I will go tomorrow and I'll ship that tomorrow. But I was like, this was gonna be on the truck tomorrow morning. It was gonna be off to my friend on a Monday morning. It was gonna be great, but it's thrown off. So I did those two things. I did not do. I did not think about scheduling the title release, which I guess I can do now. I don't have any other piece of technology or like a planner here to do that, but I can do it once I'm done this. So I'll let you know tomorrow if I do that, if I like think about like when things are gonna occur and how they're gonna occur, which is very exciting because I'm tired of almost saying the title over and over and over and over again in vlogs, in videos, and then having to be like, Aramount Book 3 and having like a big pause in front of it. So I want you guys to know the title. I think it's going to be an interesting title because it's not one that is as like on the nose as A Second Story or A Little Luck was. Like both A Second Story and A Little Luck, like the title is in the book. It's in the book for many reasons. Like A Little Luck, for example, is a phrase said by Lottie all the time. Her last name, her taken last name is Luck. It's this thing with the title in that one. But this one I think is just going to be a title. Like, I don't think it's going to be like a phrase or a name for anything. It's just a title. And I think that's going to be interesting to kind of play with. Speaking of Airmail Book 3, I did work on it tonight. 1,700 words in. We love that so much. I'm nearing the end of part 1, which is great. It is much beefier than I anticipated before. There's so many more chapters than there was originally. So this one's gonna be a beefier book. It's gonna be a lot bigger than the other ones. I think I've said that before, but I'm getting that one done. I'm trying to keep myself on a little bit of a like, okay, I need to write at least a little bit every day type of situation, because I'm at the point where we are teetering on, one, some weird vibes, as the beginning of this vlog was proof of. We're also teetering on the beginning of seasonal depression seasons, which in these next few months, I am the least productive and least creative I am ever, which is very strange. Although this year, like overall thinking about my seasonality and my creativity, I have not been very like, that's a lie. I was about to say I have not been very creative. I have not been very productive. I have. I've done things that I've not intended on doing, like writing an entire novella in the middle of the year and that taking up my brain space. And also earlier this year, planning out Sage's trilogy and coming up with that. Like, that wasn't necessarily planned. Like, my plan was Airmail Book 3 this year, and that one just keeps getting pushed in my brain. But I will also say that one is going to come out 2025, early 2025, first half of 2025. I'm making it happen. I have 8 months in my brain, in my timeline, to like figure shit out and get things done. I keep having this like little mini panic because I keep sitting here thinking like, oh, like I have so much time. I have 8 months. There's so much time to get stuff done. And then I keep remembering that I need to, 1, finish draft 2, 2, find beta readers to get them to read it in a month and turn it back to me and work on draft 3 and get that going. 3, find a sensitivity reader or an editor. I keep waffling back and forth because I just don't have the means or the money to get both, which is what like the writing grants that I applied for this year were supposed to go towards. We're gonna see. Editor is always the one that I want to go for because I want my story to be the best it can be, but like I'm writing a character with chronic pain. I do not have chronic pain, so I want to be able to represent that as well as I can. So maybe I'll look for beta readers specifically who have experience in that. I'm not sure. I gotta figure that out. That's my own thing. I gotta monetize my life a little bit differently with this one. So I keep having this little mini panic of like, oh, I have so much time. No, wait, I have no time at all because I need to schedule an editor, get an editor, and also have time for them to edit it and for me to edit it and to figure out the right time for me to go at an editor and like find a good one again, because I don't know if my friend Yeleni's gonna have time. She's literally getting her master's right now, and she is my favorite editor that I've worked with. So I might have to like bribe her also on top of paying her, and maybe give it to her in little pieces. Like I was thinking, instead of giving her the entire novel all at once, giving her like part 1 and then part 2, or like part 1 and 2, so she can do like bits and pieces of it. But I know she likes to read and get the whole picture. So maybe, but that would also work because I want like each part in the book to like feel like their own thing. I don't know. I have a lot of different up in the air vibes right now. Okay, so I did work on Airmail Book 3 today. We broke 20,000 words officially. We're getting there, and I'm feeling pretty okay with where the story is at right now. Although I will say part 1 was the part that I was most confident with when I was rejigging the story. So I need to, what was I saying earlier? Oh, I was saying, my brain is very scattered. I apologize. I was saying that I am trying to make myself more consistent with my writing because I want this done by the end of September, this draft, which is coming up because it's fucking September 16th today. We are in the second half of September. It's Monday right now. It's fucking 2:30 in the morning. I need to have this done by September 30th or whatever the last day of September is. It's 30th, right? Because October has 31 days. Anyways, I want so desperately to be working on Sage's story right now, and my body is like, don't you fucking dare. Like, I am seriously considering querying Sage's story. I haven't even written the fucking thing, guys, and I'm considering querying this story because like I want to give it a shot at being traditionally published, which is bananas because this was planned to be a self-published situation where I publish each book in the trilogy in quick succession. My very vague plan. This is another thing that's completely up in the air because I have not started writing the book. I mean, I have actually, I'm like 20,000 words into that one or something crazy. Not even nearly that many words in it, like maybe a chapter into it, if I remember correctly. I like planned it out. The plan with that one in my brain as so far, without actually having like sat down to plan things, is I'm going to get book 1 done as good as I can to like my standard, and then I'm going to give it 6 months on the query market and actively be querying as best as I can for this thing. And if nothing happens in those 6 months, I'm going to self-publish it myself. Maybe I'll give it 8 months. I don't know. It's a plan in the back of my brain noggin, because I want you guys to have it, and I want like I keep waffling on it because I want my friend Tess to do the cover, because I have the covers in my head for this story already, like for at least book 1 and mostly book 2. I don't for book 3 yet, but that's because I don't know the vibes of book 3 quite as exact as I know book 1 and 2. So, because I need to write book 1 and 2 to get to book 3. These things are things that I should not be worrying about at this moment, because they are not my current focus of a project. So I did a lot of stuff today. I got the ARC reader form up for Marion Bright. As a reminder, that's in the link in my bio. Go sign up if you want an ARC. It is an e-ARC, not a physical ARC. You'll be getting it next week coming up if you sign up. So, because I have it ready, I just need to make the book funnel page and send it out and give enough time for people to sign up to be an ARC reader. With Marion Bright specifically, I need to then put up the paperback pre-order, which the only thing I'm waiting for is to get the proof from Amazon that I ordered. I don't know if the matte one is going to come in or the glossy one, because I did something stupid, and I was like, as I was doing all the situation for putting the book into KDP and loading it and whatever, I hit glossy and then I hit request proof, loaded it into Amazon like marketplace, and like be like, okay, like it's going to tell me in a couple hours when it's ready to be purchased through Amazon's marketplace. And then I backed out of it, changed it to matte, and then requested a matte proof immediately after, and only one proof went through the system. I don't know which one it is, so we're gonna see which one shows up at my door tomorrow, because it's coming in tomorrow. So we're gonna see which one comes in, and if it's the matte one, I'm gonna decide right then and there if I want glossy or matte. If it's the glossy one, that's exciting, because I really want to see what the glossy one's gonna look like with the new cover. So that's really all I gotta do with Marion Bright. I would like to give it another read through before I officially like hit publish, but that could wait until October, because I'm publishing it in November. I don't need to do, like, I can wait until October to do any like one last read through final edit type situation, because it's basically ready to go. So that's Marion Bright. That project is almost neatly wrapped and packaged to go. We're focusing on Airmail book 3, and I have completely kicked the audiobook for a second story out of my brain. There's just so much going on right now. My brain is not focusing on anything. I just need to get a project done. What I think I need to do with the audiobook is carve out a weekend and just make it the project that I do in a weekend, which sounds insane for my voice, for one, and also just the amount of time it's gonna actually take, because it's roughly 20 minutes a chapter to record. That's not the final lengths of each chapter. Each chapter is gonna be much shorter than that, but I make mistakes, you know? That's totally besides the point. This is how scattered my brain is this weekend, friends. I am having the time. I have not even given you a reading update, and I have been talking for 16 minutes. Holy shit. It's not even worth a reading update, because I read the Lady Eve's Last Con today, and it was so disappointing. It tried to be this 1920s vibe in space, and there was little to no atmosphere other than the occasional person going like, dandy, and I'm like, this is terrible. And the chemistry between the two love interests was not there. The world building was non-existent. This could have been set in Ohio for all I know. This was not spacey to me. Like, it didn't give me any space vibes. And I probably am doing it a disservice, having read it right after the Stardust Grail, which I ended up giving 4.5 stars, by the way. The whole point of this book is that our main character, Ruth, is on a, like, behind-the-scenes mission to get back at the man that her sister fell in love with and got pregnant by, because he like broke her heart and like doesn't want anything to do with the kid, even though he doesn't actually know anything about the kid. Her whole situation is that she didn't bank on his like beautiful sister being there and like being aware that she is not who she says she is. And I was like, okay, we're in for like a plot, like a book long situation of this tension, this like trying to keep a secret. No, girly gives up her secret to the love interest less than 50% of the way through the book. I thought like if she was gonna give it up, the midpoint might have been interesting to do. No, it was less than 50% of the way into the book and she gives it up. That totally messed with the tension of this book. The pacing is whack. It's not good, guys. I was so bored. I skimmed the last half of it. It was just not good. It was really not that good. There was no chemistry between the main two characters. Two stars. No. Anyways, I want to give you a quick rundown of what's next on the docket. Black Tide Sun is the next book I'm going to start. I also got How to Become a Dark Lord from the library, and I really want to read this one. How to Become a Dark Lord and Die Trying by Django Wexler, because it sounds funny. It sounds kooky and irreverent, and that's what I want. I want to have a really good time with a book, because I was promised a good time with this one and I did not have a good time. And then I also have this novella on the future docket. So these are the next like 3 vibes. But yes, I feel like I did everything on my list except for those 2 things, which is scheduling out the title reveal for Airman Book 3 and then the package delivery. Everything else I think I did. I'll have to double check over the footage tomorrow, but it's the end of the weekend. I am already having so much anxiety about teaching this week. That's not fun because tomorrow, Monday, my kids on Monday are so great. My kids on Tuesday are also really great. There's just one child who I'm like, there's always one. There's always one every year that gives me so much anxiety having to deal with because I just don't want to teach them. It sounds so terrible for me to say that, but sometimes that's just what's happened and that's what's happening. But it is giving me anxiety because I just don't want to be back. I just want another day. I want another day of a weekend. I want time to just sit and do nothing and rot and... Can you tell I'm a little flustered? We're getting close to the seasonal depression season and I can feel it happening and I'm trying to make it not happen. Love that for me. Anyways, friends, that's the update for the day. I don't know if half of this was coherent. It was just a rambly, like we're on FaceTime vibes. And I hope you don't mind. What did I cover? I don't even know what I covered. What I did today? My panic over Airman Book 3, even though I shouldn't be panicking. I'm the one in control. I'm really excited for you guys to figure out the title. That's gonna be really fun for me. I think I'm gonna try schedule it like for this week at some point. Oh my god, I also have a Star Wars in concert at the Symphony this Friday. I don't have anyone to go with. I'm just gonna go alone if none of my friends can come, which is kind of sad. But, well, none of my friends are Star Wars people, so we'll see what happens. But anyways, I'm okay. I think I just need to go to sleep. I think that's really what's happening. I'm just a little chaos right now. A little chaos. It's 2:40 in the morning or something. What time is it? Yeah, 2:40 in the morning. I really need to fix my sleep schedule. Didn't work today. My dad woke me up with a phone call at 11:30 because the sleep schedule is just not sleep scheduling. Anyways, friends, that's what's up. That's what's happening. It's also really warm in here. You know what I need? I need fall to kick in properly because even though the trees are changing outside, it's still 30 degrees outside Celsius, which is like in the 90s Fahrenheit. It's not cool. I need cool temperature. Anyways, I'm gonna go to bed. I'll chat to you guys tomorrow. Hopefully there'll be less chaos tomorrow, but there's the vibes. So I love you all. Hello, friends. I just spent 18 minutes talking to this camera and decided that I'm gonna just restart this end clip because it was 18 minutes long. Welcome to Monday. What a weekend. This has been such a wild weekend. I feel so scattered still. It's really just down to like a few things in my personal and professional life that I need to sort out and see if I can change a couple things and that kind of stuff that I just don't really mention on my channel. And turning 27 and suddenly feeling like I'm having my quarter life crisis is fun because this is what I expected around 25, being like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Why do I feel so stuck? It's happening at 27, which is great. And I also wanted to clarify something that I mentioned in my clip yesterday that I mentioned in passing and like just completely did not continue with the sentence or the thought because Scattered is the title of this vlog because holy shit. I mentioned that I didn't feel like I had been as productive this year in 2024 as I was in 2023. And I mentioned something about like my creative seasons and stuff like that because I was like, well, all my creative seasons have passed. We are coming up to my least creative season, which is my favorite season, fall. But it's my favorite and also eats me in the ass because it just it gives me seasonal depression, which is the worst. I'm just not productive in the fall, which is so sad. You think I would be because that's like start of school season. I should be like it should be ingrained in me. But what I meant to say with that comment yesterday, in 2023, I published 2 books. I published a second story in May, and then I published A Little Luck in October. And I wrote A Little Luck, the majority of it, between May and October. So I was doing everything. What is that? Oh, it's an ant. Oh, I literally have ant traps everywhere in my apartment. Leave me alone. What the fuck was I saying? Scattered. I don't even remember what I was saying. I wrote the majority of A Little Luck in between May and October. I was so disciplined in 2023. I had schedule, I had timelines, I hit those timelines. I was so disciplined. And I think the fact that I had finished products when I was done these cycles of editing and whatever, and I was really, really focused on one project at a time, that coming out of it, I felt so productive because I got so much done in my mind. Like I actually finished these projects and got them done and out in the world. Coming into 2024, I just feel like nothing is happening because, and I made the comment that like my creativity was down and my like productivity was down because I just I don't have that same experience. And I think now that I'm like, I said that last night, now I'm here and thought about it, because this year I have so many things in my head that I want to do, so many stories I want to work on, so many projects that I want to work on, so many different things. Like I have the 2 audiobooks for the Airma books that are already out. I have Airma book 3 that I want to do, and then that audiobook as well. I have like novella ideas. I have fucking Sage's story that I plotted the entire trilogy for. I like all this kind of stuff that I just didn't bank on having all at once. And I'm not doing one project alone. I'm doing all of these things, thinking about all of them, and I'm dabbling. This is the year of dabbling for me. I think that having that experience where I'm like popping in and out of projects without actually completing projects, I feel less productive because I am someone who likes to check things off of a list and complete projects one by one by one. I think also as someone who works better only on one thing at a time, because then I do get to the end of these things, having my brain be so creatively charged this year and just want to do all of the things has been fantastic, but also like a little bit of a learning lesson because, or a teaching situation, because I know how I work, and yet I kind of have to change how I work despite how I know like the creative seasons work, because now I need to have the majority of the work for Airman Book 3 is going to be done during the season that I am the least creative, that I have the most struggles with my mental health. And that's just kind of how it has to be. I am not sad about it. I'm going to, obviously, because I really want to work on this book and I really want to have it out for you guys because I really do love this book. It's just something, it's again, my brain is so attached to all these different ideas. I didn't tell you guys this, but when I worked on Merry and Bright and I realized that I could get a novella out so quickly and get it ready so quickly, like a couple months time, maybe like 3 months time if I really worked on it, I was like, okay, I could have an Aramount novella out for this Christmas. So what I'm going to do is when I finish Airma Book 3's draft 2 at the end of August, I'm going to take September and I'm going to write another novella and get that one edited up and ready and be a surprise in December. I have not finished Airma Book 3's draft 2 yet. I've barely finished part 1 out of 5 parts. I have completely kicked that out of my brain. If I do any novellas, it may be next year with more planning because I don't need that extra stress on myself. I have so many ideas. I have so many ideas that I want to work on. Having Merry and Bright pop up in the middle of the year and take over the summer months also kind of derailed the productivity that I had originally planned for Airma Book 3, because as someone who works 2 jobs during the main like school year, if you will, because of my teaching, my summer is usually very empty, and I can spend a lot of time working on projects, and which is what I did in 2023 with a little luck. That's how like I was on top of my shit in 2023 with a little luck, because I had promised it by that fall, and if I didn't get out by that fall, it would have to wait until the next fall, which I didn't want to do because it's a really fall book, right? That's what I really wanted to clarify when I said that yesterday, because I've realized that now, that my levels of productivity, the measurability of productivity is so different from year to year and from moment to moment and project to project and what have you. So I am interested to see how the rest of this year pans out. Like, I cannot believe we're already looking at the last quarter of the year. Like, in 2 weeks from now is going to be the last quarter of the year, October, November, and December, which are arguably the 3 best months of the year, vibes wise. But I am also going to be testing out my resiliency in the next couple months, while also making sure I take care of myself, because mental health is so important. I know that the next few months are my worst months of the year, so we're gonna try our hardest to just be kind to ourselves and to still remain productive. I think that weird, stupid idea that I mentioned yesterday about carving out a weekend or two to just work on a second stories audiobook is gonna have to be what I do, because there's no feasible way for my brain at the moment to add another thing into my routine and to chip away at this project. I think I want it done. I want the audiobook out for a second story so that I can start working on a little luck, and then eventually air my book 3. So it's one of those things, I just need to carve out enough time to do it. And I think that carving out 2 weekends in a row where I just do that all weekend, I just work on the project all weekend, I think that's probably the best thing I can do for myself and that project and get it done. Just need to fucking get it done. I have like 30 some odd chapters left to record at like 20 minutes a chapter, a couple weekends, and I should have it done. So that's going to be me planning that out, because I have been promising that for more than a year now. And again, I feel so bad. Like, the one main thing about me is I don't ever, like, I'm in control of all of these deadlines. That is me. I'm my boss, you know? And I don't care about disappointing myself. I care about disappointing you guys. I care about promising things and not fulfilling that promise and having to push things back or whatever. I know, take care of myself first, but I hate doing it. I don't want to ever do that. I don't want to ever do that. So we're gonna see how that goes. Also wanted to clarify with Sage's story that I mentioned yesterday, that one is, I'm not gonna look at it. All my body wants to do right now is work on that, because I really just want to be back in that world and that story, even though I'm in that world in Airmail Book 3. I want to be with Sage. I want to be working on that story, on that mystery, on that, pulling that apart and getting it really, really good, because I've decided that I really want to query this. I want to try and query it anyways, and to see if that is a possibility whatsoever. Because of that, I need to get Airmail Book 3 done so that I can get it as good as it needs to be and ready and published. And then I can focus exclusively on Sage's story and that trilogy, the Far Horizons trilogy. So that's going to be a 2025 situation, the Far Horizons trilogy. And I know I've said possible like years for that coming out, in my next few books coming out, and that has been like, I think 2026, 2027 I said, or 2025, 2026, whichever. So we'll see. I would love to have it done by 2026 so that I can do the querying in 2026 and then have it out for you guys in like quick succession in 2027. This is very future stuff. If this is the first video you're watching from my channel, I am so sorry. This is not the usual vibe, but also stick around, because really we're just on a journey together on learning about self-publishing, reading, stories, everything, you know? Anyways, friends, that is it. That is all I have. I could talk about this stuff forever, but I'm going to make myself stop, because it's just going to keep going around in circles and I'm not going to get anything done with talking about things. Also, this proof came in today. I don't like the matte version. It completely dulls the image. So we're going with a glossy for Marion Bright. And I've ordered a new proof with a slightly resized cover, because this one, like, the name overlaps on it a little bit. I'm getting a new proof in the mail. It's gonna be glossy with a slightly better centered cover with the spine fixed. All of the ebook pre-orders are live, I believe. Asterisks on the American Amazon. For some reason that one wasn't loading today, but it is up everywhere else. It is up on Kobo. It is up on like fucking so many different places. Like if you have an ebook provider that you order things through, go check out Mary Ann Bright by JENNCOLLIGNON by Jen Collignon. It's not under J.A. Collignon, it's under Jen Collignon today. And now for Mary Ann Bright. Not my full name, my nickname and my last name instead of J.A. because J.A. is for fantasy. That's what I'm doing. Go check it out. Go pre-order it. Tell your friends about it. And if you want to be an ARC reader, that link is in the description as well. I am going to stop talking because this is the rambly, dabbling, scattered vlog. Because holy shit. I tried to make this end clip shorter and it just ended up being the same amount of time as last time. So I'm done. I gave the Stardust Grail 4.5 stars, and I gave the Lady Eve's Last Con 2 stars. I added 1,700 words to Airmail Book 3. We've broke 20k. We have ARC reader sign-up sheets done. We did everything on my list except for scheduling out when I'm gonna do the title release, which is fine. I think I'm gonna do that now. And then of course, I didn't read Black Tide Sun, but this is my next book on my list to read. Anyways, my friends, I love you so dearly. I hope you're doing well. Please tell me something happy in the comments. Tell me something you're proud of that you've accomplished this year so far. I would really, really love to hear about it. And I know I've rambled so much. I hope at least some of it makes sense, but anyways, friends. No, wait, hold on. I wanted to tell you guys that I'm going to be releasing the fun little game that I have for the title reveal this week on my Instagram and my TikTok. So go follow me there because that's where it's all gonna be. That's where the game is gonna be. You get all the information there. Go follow me on those socials and stay tuned because this week, this Sunday, I'm revealing the name and the title of this book. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. What a vlog. I will catch you in another one very soon. Stay kind and keep on reading.